to order the regular meeting of the City of Aransas Pass City Council, May 2nd, 2022 at 5:30 p.m. Let's all rise for the invocation and pledge allegiance.
Dear Father, we thank you for the blessings that you have bestowed upon us. We thank you, my Father, for the liberty that we enjoy. Thank you for the country that we live in. Thank you, Father, for watching over our families and our loved ones. We ask, my Father, that you guide us as far as the City Council, making the right decisions for our residents. We thank you, Father, for the leadership that we do have that is in place in the City of Aransas Pass. All this we ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Is participating via conference phone.
Okay, now we're going to go to presentations and proclamations, and we're going to go to the chief for the introduction of new police department staff.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor and Council, and that was actually just a fairy tale title. We know we have a high-level ranking criminal gang member inside our audience. No, I'm just kidding. Just trying to live you up, get you all loose. Anyway, no, we just want to introduce to you, like we told you, we brought Canine Cali with her handler, Officer Mark Flores, Sergeant Mark Flores. This is Canine Cali. She is such a beauty, and she came at just the right time.
Uh-oh.
You know, we had those instances of overdoses in the coastal bend, and we took it head on, and we were able to establish some good connections through our partners with the DEA. Mark is assigned to the DEA as a TFO, so he's kind of like a double agent. Exciting, right? And they were able to get a couple of good search warrants. We got more to come, and in fact, he's been quite busy, I will tell you, Council. He is responsible for a huge, what we call an OSADEF case, which is an organized crime at the federal level. We've received 18 indictments. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mark. 18 federal indictments that have already occurred, several more to come, and as soon as I can share those details with you, I will, with some great seizures in the works. So it's gonna be quite exciting. And it was high-level drug cases that were targeting our community right here in Aransas Pass with these nasty products of dope. So this is Canine Cali. Mark, you want to bring her up, walk her around there?
Hopefully she didn't find anything.
Yeah, shouldn't find nothing.
Don't take her
But
around.
she's excited to see folks. So you guys get a close look. Beautiful black snout there and everything. She thinks she's working. So, but anyway, she is a multi-trained dog. She'll do search and rescue, bite, and also narcotics.
Okay.
So, and then last but not least, we have Officer Kemp. He comes to us not far away from here, from Portland, and I just got a report on him today that the troops are loving him. He's catching on real well, and he is by no means a rookie. He's got experience, and we're happy to bring him over from Portland. And then we're also excited about Kimmy Smith. Her husband is also a police officer, a Corpus police officer, and I've actually known him before he or I were both in law enforcement. We worked together, and she was dispatching for many years in Sampat County, and we were able to suck her up and bring her over as well, and blessed to have her in our community here. So thank you guys for joining our family here.
Welcome. Yeah.
Thank you.
Guys.
All right, thank you, Mayor and Council.
All right.
Thank you, Mayor.
Okay. Now, the council will go into executive session under posted agenda item number 16 pursuant to section 551.071, legal advice, and section 551.074 to discuss a personal matter relating to the new Director of Public Works, and it's 5:34.
We're gonna
Okay, we're gonna reconvene in open session to consider and take action, if any, on any item discussed in the executive session, and it's 5:43. And we're gonna go to Gary.
Okay. Mr. Mayor and Council, it's my honor to introduce to you the new Public Works Director, David Flores, Jr. David has an engineering degree, and he has an extensive amount of experience as a Public Works Director. We're very fortunate to have David. And David, you mind coming forward? I understand your wife is here also?
Yes, my wife.
Wonderful, very
Yeah.
good.
Thank you so much for the opportunity to let me join your team, and I really look forward to working with all of you.
We look forward to having
We're
you.
glad you're here. I
Thank
think
you.
you'll
Thank you.
enjoy the team. I think you will.
Thank you, appreciate that.
So the 4th is your first?
Correct. Yes. I'll
Now,
be
I
there.
need your cell phone number because I will be calling you at 7 a.m. and at 9 p.m. Trust me.
Definitely not, that won't be a problem. Yeah.
No eye rolling, no, oh Lord, there she is again.
How can I block this call?
Yeah.
Same here.
Carrie is not
Yeah.
joking.
You're good there. We don't have to wait for May 4th. I can just give it to you now.
Thank you.
Thank
Welcome
you.
aboard.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, we're gonna go back to Gary.
Yes. The next person, Mayor and Council, I would like to introduce to you is the new building official, Joseph Garza. Where's there? Come on.
Okay.
Joseph. We also are lucky to have Joseph. Joseph was a building inspector in Corpus for a number of years, actually. Has been a construction manager, and there's some certifications he needs to get. He's working on right now. But you want to say hello to the mayor and council?
Hi, everybody. Thank you for the opportunity to, give me a chance to better the community, and I look forward to working with everybody.
All right, well, welcome.
Welcome. Thanks. Okay, now we're gonna go to an update on Con Brown Harbor and Bulkhead, Mr. Javier Solis.
Sorry.
We thought you skipped town or something.
I was out of town in one of the meetings, but I did forward an email to Gary. I hope Gary sent it to you guys, apologizing that I wasn't able to make it. But we are 98% complete on that project. We have 50 foot left, a bulkhead to demo, and 50 foot to install. We are right behind the new sheet piles, putting in the tiebacks. So we're not far behind it. All I need is 50 foot and then concrete, and we should be done with this project. We are having trouble pulling the last 50 foot. I got with Ardura, sent them an email, RFI, to see what we can do, because they are not coming up. The old sheet pile, concrete piles are crumbling once we try to pull them up. It's not in deep water. Maybe that's why it has more elements hit it. So every time we try to pick it up, they're just breaking. But we are working on it. I am hopefully by Friday we should be out with the marine crew, and all I have is the concrete work. So next meeting, everything will be 100%. Go with it.
All right.
Deal.
Thank
And
you.
I apologize again. I was not doing it on purpose. I like you guys. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Okay, now we're gonna go to update on Cdbgdr projects with Mr. Eric Villarreal.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. Eric Villarreal with Ardura, formerly LNV, here to give you an update on some projects. As you're aware, the Cdbgdr project encompassed about 15 different projects, and we've, combined some of them and bid some of them out. The first one that is not on here, but the first one on the list is Saunders and Greenwood drainage project. That one is complete, and if you've seen, the nice paving that you got with that, not just, the paving came after the drainage improvements, which are the number one priority on these projects. There's still a little bit of cleanup. We've given the contractor a punch list, and so again, we've got retainage to hold until everything's cleaned up on that one. 13th Street, Wilson and Nelson drainage project. That one along with Highland Johnson drainage improvement project. Those bid out a few weeks ago. We've already had our pre-construction meeting. Contracts are signed. Contractor has notice to proceed. Both have asked for a little bit of extra time as they finish up other projects, but we're reviewing submittals, making sure they're dealing with the city, getting laydown areas, so that construction should start here within the next couple of weeks. The one that's not on here is McCampbell Stapp area. I know that there's still construction going on. That one was the biggest project out of all of them. It combined 3 different projects, and so on McCampbell, they've finished. They've got nice paving. Again, drainage has been number one. We got through some easement acquisition with Mr. and Mrs. Schrader's property in order to complete the project there. So the contractors has moved there. We've come up with again, drainage is number one, first and foremost on these projects. On Stapp, to save money initially, we were going to cure in place and rehab the storm sewer that was under the pavement. As we try to do that, there's areas where there's no storm sewer at all, and so it's impossible to rehab it. Fortunately, all of these projects have been under budget, so we still have a lot of money left to spend. We want to spend as much as we can. It's free money to the city. I say free, as a consequence of Hurricane Harvey, but we're trying to utilize all of the grant money that we can. And so on Stapp, the reason you haven't seen any work on that is we're change ordering in brand new storm sewer, and it's going to be brand new pavement there as well, now that we've got other projects that have come in under budget. So we're working with GrantWorks to get budgets modified so that we can cover the costs. And of course, all of these change orders are at no cost to the city.
What about Highland and Johnson? It's on the list.
Yeah, Highland and Johnson, along with 13th, those bid out on the same day.
Okay.
And so so we've already had pre-construction conference for both of those, and so that work will start here in the next couple of weeks.
Is that the same company on both projects or 2 different?
No, 2 different ones.
Okay.
And again, what we tried to do was lump as many similar together in the same area. What we didn't want to do initially was have one big project for $13 million and eliminate, the ability for some contractors to bid on. So what we did was we took, like Highland and Johnson, they're there together. We put that as one project. On the same day, the 13th, Wilson and Nelson, again, those 3 are all connected. On the same day, we bid a different project, and we had, it could have had the same contractor on both projects, but we didn't because there were 2 different bids. So we've got 2 different contractors. We've worked with both, and have recommended them for the project, and so they'll be starting here in the next couple of weeks.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, now we're going to go to presentation of budget calendar for the fiscal year 2022-2023.
You want to start? Good evening. That's not up there. The budget calendar for this year, you should have a copy of that, but I'm just going to give you the highlights. The May 9th, we're going to be giving department directors, department staff, their budget worksheets. On May 16th, it's a public hearing on the budget where it's going to give the citizens an opportunity to come in and give comment and guidance to the council as to what they want to happen. On June 17th, we're going to be having a strategic budget meeting session with the mayor, city council, department directors. This is where the department directors are going to ask you for what they want, and you all rank the priorities of what they want and break hearts and shatter dreams. And then we're gonna start. That really is the official kick to the process itself. Then from June 27th through July 1st, the budget committee, which is composed of Councilwoman Abrego, the city manager, myself, and my staff, are going to be meeting individually with department directors, one-on-one for that whole week. We're going to be having meetings, and they're going to present their budget. They're going to, really present all their items and fight for what they want to stay on the budget.
Then on August the 15th, the mayor is going to have a proposed, a presentation, a summary of where the budget stands with the capital improvements. And then on the most important date is going to be September the 12th, where we're going to be adopting our budget and adopting our tax rate at that time. There's a whole bunch of stuff that happens in between, but those are the highlights of the dates that are of most importance to everyone. Do you all have any questions? No? Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. Now we're going to go to the consent agenda. All of the following items on the consent agenda are considered to be routine by the city council and will be enacted with one motion. There will be no separate discussion of this item unless the council member so requests. If discussion is desired, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately.
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda for the regular meeting on April 18th, 2022.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Now we're gonna go to public hearings, and I'm gonna open up the public hearing for ESA case number 2204-01. And it's a public hearing to consider a request by Tom Furlow for an RV park project located in environmentally sensitive area, District 1 at the southwest corner of West Nile Avenue and North Commercial in Aransas, Pass, Texas.
I've got to bring in Mr. Furlow to the call. Jen, I'm going to be bringing in somebody to the call, okay?
Tom Furlow.
Mr. Furlow, hold on just a moment.
Thank you.
Councilmember Moore, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Thank you. Mayor and Council, this is an application by Tom Furlow for his RV project. This particular application has to do with environmentally sensitive areas with the city that has to look at areas that are environmentally challenged in relation to development. And so this case was presented to the ESA board, environmentally sensitive board, and it was heard on the 26th. And so they reviewed all the required data information that they submitted by the U.S. Corps of Engineers and all other environmental agencies, and they submitted a report. The report showed that it is not going to negatively impact the environmental area that they're going to put the RV park. And therefore, the board recommended approval for this project. And so it's before you for consideration. Thank you.
Any comments?
I have a question. This is Jan Moore. Under technical reviews, I understand that the fire department signed off on it, but then it says police chief, street lights for RV parks. And that has been approved by the police chief and Mr. Furlow?
Yeah, we've informed them to give us an information, and so they are ready to discuss with us the number of lights that they need to put in. So Mr. Furlow is on the phone. He can answer and give a little bit details on the lighting system.
So this is Tom Furlow. Hi, if it pleases the council, I appreciate the opportunity to be here by phone. So we did go before the ESA just strictly on the environmental issues, and so that has to be approved before we can get a permit. And so some of the items that are coming up that we're talking about are going to be handled in the permitting process. There was some discussion about street width. We fixed that. And we're in communication and making these changes as needed. We're before the council this evening on the ESA application to get that, ratified in essence from the, unanimous approval by the ESA board. And then as we Our next step is to move directly into getting a building permit. We're extremely close to that. And the street lights and adding a hydrant, and a couple of other things we're dealing with will definitely be addressed, and it'll be addressed during the permitting process.
Excellent, thank you, Mr. Furlow.
Is there any comments from anybody?
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna declare this public hearing closed. Now we're gonna go to consider an act on approving an ordinance granting a environmentally sensitive area permit to Tom Furlow for 12.081 acres of recreational vehicles RV park at the southwest corner of West Kyle and North Commercial, currently zoned MH Manufactured Home District in Aransas Pass, Texas.
I make a motion to approve an ordinance granting an ESA permit to Tom Furlow for his recreational vehicle at corner of West Kyle and North Commercial.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Now we're gonna go to the city manager.
Subsection in there. This extension.
Oh, I was gonna say you gave me him, okay. Is that on here?
Am I still involved, or may I be excused? I didn't.
No, it should stay on. It's the update. We're going to talk about the update report.
Okay.
That is part of the whole document. So,
Gotcha.
yeah. The last time the case came before you for approval, you requested that, the council requested that they come in 6 months to give an update report. And based on that, Mr. Furlow wants to give a quick update as to where the project is and how they're going to start with the project.
Okay. If it pleases the council, this is Tom Furlow again. So we have been proceeding toward getting a contractor's bids and getting the building permit finalized so that we can begin construction. And we're due under the extension that was granted to start construction in about 60 days from right now. And we did lose some time because we needed to go through the ESA scenario, which we did, and we've obviously successfully completed that. That set us back a little bit. However, we're still moving very quickly toward our goal of starting construction timely under the city's deadline. I've been informed that the definition of that is having a building permit and beginning the initial phases of construction, which in our instance, according to the contractors, is going to be some earth movement to start cutting in the streets. So to report, we have 2, possibly 3 bids in hand. The permit needs to have a contractor listed. So we're extremely close to getting this permit, and we're ready to move directly into that. We're having a meeting tomorrow relative to the 3 contractors, and we have submitted for the permit, and we're just trying to get it approved so we can start work. So we are definitely aggressively moving forward to start construction within the time constraints that we've been given, and I think the report is an optimistic one, and that we are very close to meeting that goal. If we somehow come up short, it won't be by much. And, you know, we did get a little bit of a hiccup with the ESA, and that cost us about 60 days. But we just didn't know we needed to do it, and we did it, and we had to set it on the agenda for the ESA and on the council, so we lost a little time there, but we've been working on everything we could behind the scenes. So here we go, and we're very optimistic we're going to meet it. If we do not come in timely, and we are requesting an extension, it will be it will not be by much. So we're very excited and optimistic that we're going to get this permit and we're going to start work very soon.
I have a question on the permit. Before he gets that permit, is all the issues going to be addressed? Like, for instance, the lighting and all that, or is it going to be addressed before he's issued the permit?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
All right. Just want to make sure on that.
All right, well, thank you.
All right.
Okay, now we're gonna go to the city manager, which is considered an act on approving a professional service agreement between the city and Bureau Veritas North America Incorporated to provide plan reviewing and building inspection services and other related services.
Mayor and Council, the agreement with Veritas is the long-term agreement. Right now, we're working under an agreement with Veritas as we wait for the building official to get the necessary certifications, which he's working on as we speak, actually. Then, but we need to have someone be doing the inspections in the meantime, and that's occurring. That's what Veritas will do. We're also adding, which you'll get at the next council meeting as an aside, we're also adding another company. So we have two companies to choose from, not only Veritas, but a company called Safe Build. And we've met with both of them. Both are good companies. Tonight, you're being asked to simply approve the Veritas agreement so that we have companies to do the inspections, not only the inspections, but plan reviews. Anything that the building authority, the building official does, that's what this company and the other company will be doing. That's what's before you at this time as we get the certifications necessary with a new employee.
Any questions?
I think they just charge, just when they go out and do an inspection, they just send an invoice and.
That's a good question, and we are not charged any retainer fee or anything of that sort. It's based on what they inspect, and that's when the charge occurs.
Okay.
And the agreement is not for a certain length of time, it's just as needed, correct?
As needed,
Okay.
only as needed, yes.
So they're just moonlighting, basically.
I'm sorry?
They're pretty much just moonlighting. Just we call them, say, come inspect something.
Yes,
and they
you can look at it that way. And this,
Yeah.
the company you'll get at the next council meeting, same thing.
Okay.
Same procedure.
Well, I make a motion that we approve the professional service agreement between the city and Bureau Veritas North America, Inc. to provide the plan review and building inspection services and other related
Second.
services.
All in favor?
Aye.
We're gonna go to the community enrichment. Consider an act on awarding the request for proposals for the annual Independence Celebration to have all fireworks in the amount of $15,550 to be held on Saturday, July 2nd.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. We went out for bid for our fireworks show this year. We did go out twice. We didn't receive any bids the first time, went out a second time, and we received 3 bids from 2 separate contractors. Those bids were totaling in $15,550, $20,000, and $22,000. 2 of those bids met our budget, which you approved previously for this project. One of those bids came in substantially lower, or decently lower, than the top threshold of that approved budget. After examining all 3 of the bids and looking at the number of shells, the duration of the shows, and the dates that they were able to provide, taking all those things into consideration, we were inclined to go with the lower bidder because we had not worked with them previously, as opposed to the other candidate who we do have a long-standing background with. I did reach out to the listed references who included other municipalities and school districts, and they all did come back, 3 of them out of 5, did come back with positive reviews of the contractor's work, previous shows, and the impact they gave to the communities who viewed the shows. We're requesting approval for the bid to be granted to Half Off Fireworks. Their show would be totaling in about 17 minutes The other two bids, unfortunately, were shorter than what we requested in our RFP, one at 13 minutes, one at 14 minutes. So with all of those in consideration, and the date July 2nd, we're asking for approval.
Well, I move to award the contract for the annual Independence Celebration to Half Off Fireworks in the amount of $15,550.00 to be held on July 2nd, 2022. Or July 2nd, 2022.
I'll second.
Oh,
All
I'm
in
in
favor?
space.
Aye.
Aye.
They
Now
might
we're
come
gonna
back
go to Development
for New Year's.
Services, which is considered an act on ordinance abandoning a .315 acre dedicated public works roadway measuring 40 foot in width and 343 feet in length, being a part of farm lot number 2, land block 239 of the Burton and Danforth subdivision, recorded in volume 1, pages 63, map records of Aransas County, Texas, described as a 25-foot width of the roadway as part of property number 14864 and a 15-foot width of the roadway as part of the property number 14860 as declared by deed of roadway dedication, defined by meets and bounds and plan of said closure, and providing for revision of said abandoned area to the abutting property owners, tabled on 4/18/22.
Okay. Thank you, Mayor and Council. This case was heard on the 18th last month, and it was tabled because Council needed much more information in relation to the property behind this roadway that is the request to propose a closure. And so we contacted the owner, which is Tom Furlow, and he gave us that information for your review, that in as much as his RV park is in question, the approval of the RV park is very significant to his decision as to whether he would need that roadway or not. And so if he's confirmed that the RV park will finally go through, then he will not need that 40-foot right-of-way. However, if anything other than that comes up, then he will have to reconsider his plans and figure out whether that roadway will be needed. So that is before you, additional information.
Yeah, I'll make a motion. That's
So,
This is
Pretty much
Councilman
dead.
Ford. So, am I understanding you, Jose, that it is not a definite that the contractor will not need that portion of his property, that it would be okay to close that off? Is that what you said?
I think is Mr. Furlow is on the phone.
May I,
Yeah, he can explain.
if the council pleases. The situation is this: we have filed a plat that turns the multiple R numbers of properties that make up the 12.083 acres. We have applied for this building permit, and all of that makes this right-of-way unnecessary. It was formed initially because one of the tracks was landlocked, and so this right-of-way was formed. I am eager to cooperate with my neighbors and be in favor of this reverting to them. We just haven't quite gotten to the point where I know that this one tract is going to be used for this purpose. We're probably a week away, hopefully, or 2 weeks away from that point. And that would certainly obviate the need for this right-of-way. I really want to just come forward and say I am 100% in favor of this, I just have to be sure that we don't end up having, some glitch to where we end up with a landlocked lot, and then we have to go back and try to reapply for this right away. But I am in favor of this reverting to the two adjacent owners. I just need to make sure that the configuration of all these lots is such that we don't end up landlocked should something completely unforeseen happen. So that's my comment. It is the council's prerogative to do as it sees fit. I think there's about a 2% chance there's a problem. So I just, I would like to just get that on the record, and if the council feels that the appropriate step is to abandon this to the adjacent owners, I respect that. I just wanted to get the issue out there that we're just almost out of the woods, but we're not there yet. And as soon as this plat is official and this park is approved, the permit is approved, there's no way in the world that we need this right of way, because the reason for which it was instituted is gone. So, and I really would like to state again, I'm in favor of these guys getting this, and it's the appropriate thing to do, and I want to be pushing it forward, not resisting it or being silent on it. So.
Well, then, once again, this is Councilman Moore. Until you get that, your building permit, I truly believe we need to table it until we know for sure that Mr. Furlow has the permit that he needs, and then we can deal with the abandonment or however we want to deal with it.
I'm okay with that. Because
we can table it again. Whatever the pleasure of the council.
That kind of works out well with some personnel issues that we're facing right now. We found a solution to the personnel issues this afternoon, so we anticipate permitting to be picked up again. There's been some slowness on it because of personnel issues. People not there.
The permit's going to be written out.
Sorry?
The permit's going to be written out, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Can we table it again? I'm just asking. Okay. I guess Member Moore made a good point. Until all of that is addressed, then if he doesn't need it or require that, I don't see any problem as far as us giving it to the
yes,
adjacent property owner.
Yeah, I second that also.
Okay. I make a motion that we table it for the next council.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We're just coming back to you on this item. This is a budgeted item. However, one building was left off, and that's the Blue Shrimpery building. When it comes to the maintenance of our air conditioning systems, we'd like to have that one added in. The fee is nominal and capable of being covered. The building is primarily managed by the police department at this point after the reconstruction of that building. So we would like your approval on this item so that we can continue to maintain good working air conditioning systems throughout city structures.
I make a motion to renew the maintenance contracts with Texas Coast Comfort Solutions.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We'll go to consider and act on approving a memorandum of understanding between the city and J.J. Fox Construction Incorporated for the installation and removal of Seagate.
Mayor, council, this is the next item.
I was going to say.
JJ's isn't near that thick. As you know, we have to install and remove the Seagates in pending hurricane to protect us from storm surge. It takes a large crane and a very skilled operator to do that. JJ's had this contract for the last many years and has worked with us very well. They have gone up slightly because of fuel, a $250 increase over last year's prices, but it's staff's recommendation that the council approve this and let the mayor sign off on it.
Make a motion to approve an MOU between the city and J.J. Fox Construction.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Now we're gonna go to consider an act on approving an agreement between city and DRC Emergency Services for disaster debris management, removal, and disposal services for a one-year term with 4 one-year option renewals.
So, Mayor, Council, you'll remember a few weeks ago, we came to you asking to put out the RFP. We got 6. It won't take me long to read through these, so just, but if you need some help going to sleep tonight, I will loan them to you. So, going through those, looked at 3 main things. Of course, price is always important to us, but also the experience and past performance of these companies. Do they have the experience to do it? And do they have the demonstrated ability to do our required work? For the past many years, I guess ever since I've took over emergency management, DRC has been our contractor. That's who removed our debris after Hurricane Harvey. Just a little reminder, it was over 300,000 cubic yards of debris that they removed. Our bill was a little over $7 million. So financial stability is also important in these companies, and that's something that we looked at because we owed them a lot of money for a long time waiting for FEMA to give us money to pay them. And again, they're about midway in the price range, but I think their experience and reputation in our past more than covers that. And hopefully if we ever use them, it is a declared emergency and FEMA pays the largest part of it anyway. But it is staff's recommendation that we continue that relationship with DRC.
Okay. Well, I make a motion that we approve an agreement between the city and DRC Emergency Services for disaster debris management.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
Thank you.
now we're gonna go to citizen comments. Citizen comments are intended for the matters that are not scheduled on the agenda. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes and state your name and address for the record. So be advised that the Texas Open Meeting Act prohibits the city council from responding and discussing your comments. The law authorizes the following: make a statement of factual information, recite existing policy, advise that this subject may be placed on the agenda for a subsequent meeting. Any comments? Mary? Okay, then we're gonna go into executive session again for section 551.087, deliberating regarding economic development negotiations related to proposed lease property at Compound Harbor, update of Rockport Fulton Market Days, and section 551.072, deliberating regarding real property related to property ID 67222.221 South Commercial, lots 4 through 8 and 23 to 32, block 549, Aransas Pass Town Site, San Patricio County. And it is 6:21.
Okay.
Mr. Furlow, we would need for you to get off the line.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity, and I'm signing off.
The concept is great.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, well. We'll listen to it.
reconvene in open session to consider and take action, if any, on any item discussed in executive session, and it is 7:21.
No action.
Make a motion.
I make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.